Hey everyone, back in to look at 5 more metal albums in my collection. I was looking at the last 3-4 videos I put out, and they've all been looking at my old hip hop albums, and I feel like most of you don't care, so I'll be done with that stuff soon. Back to the metal. And this is not metal, but we're going to look at a special album right here. This is a band called Blacklist, and the album's called Afterworld. I bought this album 11 months ago. Was released in October 22 on Profound Lore Records, and I think I got it after Halloween. And something about it just told me, you know, this is going to be a good one for the fall. Save it for next year. So I did. I put it away, and I'm pretty good at that. I like to cater my listening to the season, and if I get an album's perfect for summer, I got no problem putting that away for 10 months and breaking it out when the time comes. So I was actually almost disappointed to find out that this band was American. They're from Brooklyn, but it just sounds very authentically British. A really cool mix of post-punk, goth rock, a little bit of hard rock metal, and it's a own unique flavor, really. What I like the most about it is it reminds me of the Chameleons, and I'm by no means a Chameleons expert, but Script of the Bridge, that is one of the greatest albums ever. And not only does the Blacklist give me a lot of Chameleons vibes, but it also reminds me of them insofar as, like, it's September right now. This is perfect to just kind of start getting into the Halloween season. Not for Halloween, for kind of getting your feet wet. I look at Halloween that way. And yeah, if I listen to this in 2022, that would be a top 5 album for me. I'm going to listen to this one a lot more in the future. And this is only their second album. Their first one came out way back in 2009. I haven't listened to it. I just added it to my Spotify playlist. I'm going to be checking that one out very soon. Now, speaking of potential albums of the year, we're going to go to the current year, 2023, and this is Godthrim, or Godtrim. I don't know how to pronounce it. This is Distortions, another Profound Lore Records release. This came out a couple months ago, and this is their second album, Distortions. Profound Lore releases are generally a blind buy for me, but for whatever reason, the first album, Reflections, I never bought it. I just got the MP3s. My favorite song on there was a track called We Are the Dead. The solo's awesome on there. But I got around to buying the brand new one. And if you didn't know, the band consists of 4 members, but 2 of them have spent time in Paradise Lost. You have Hamish, who's on guitars and vocals. He used to play guitar for Paradise Lost. And I believe the drummer here played drums in Paradise Lost for a time. And I've never been a big Paradise Lost guy. I've tried a million times. Obviously, they got some killer tracks. But they've never really spoken to me. They haven't. And but this album here is definitely a more developed version of the first Paradise Lost album. Meets Epic Doom. Predominantly, I'd compare them to Pallbearer. Pallbearer are extremely heavy sonically, but I never found them like dark or depressing. They're one of my favorite bands, so that's not an insult. This is a darker Pallbearer to me. I'm still getting used to this one, so I don't know what my favorite track is, but as Titans, the opener, so far it's sticking out for me. It's just got a killer riff in here. This is one of my favorite albums of the year so far. It's going to be top 10 for sure. We'll see about top 5. Next up, we have Dying Alive. This is a live album and live DVD by Kreator. Is it the same track listing? You know what? I lied. It's actually a double live album and a single live DVD. I'm not too much into live releases, especially live DVDs. I would never watch it. Maybe I put it on the background if I'm cleaning the house or something. But Creator, what can you say? I'm definitely a huge fan of the first three. And everything else, even the albums that people don't like, I don't know, Renewal and Outcast, I think they're definitely all okay. But even the new albums that are back to the classic thrash style, I'm always like, this is cool, but not memorable, not worth the purchase to me. But this was 2013 release on Nuclear Blast. Mixture of all eras of their career. People of the Lie, I always like that song. Some newer stuff like Enemy of God, older stuff like Flag of Hate, Tormentor. Never seen Creator live, kind of surprising. I remember they came through town with, who was it? I think it was Obituary and a couple good supporting bands. Didn't make it. Okay, next up, Slave Agent. This one's called Alternate Histories. This is a thrash metal band from Niagara Falls, Canada. And I sound like a broken record, always say I'm not a big thrash guy outside of a handful of the old classics. But I put this on this morning and I found myself being kind of into it. Thought the guitar work was great, killer riffs all over the place. I guess my main complaint is the vocals. They're not bad, but they just seem kind of like a half step. Like they're not sung, they're not screamed, they're not growled. Just kind of like an aggressive tone that just seems, again, just kind of not fully committed to. But cool Canadian band. Hope to hear more. And finally, this is Cropsy Maniac, Further Than Fear. Death metal, grindcore, gore grind, whatever you want to call it, mix. This is definitely not my kind of thing. I love death metal, but I'm not really into the gore stuff, the serial killer thing. I'm not saying that offends me by any means. I love metal and everything that comes with it. But it's just not for me. And when did this come out? Deadbeat Media, 2016. So that's it for today. Again, Halloween's around the corner. Gonna make some videos talking about it. Highlight a couple special bands to me. Maybe look at some horror movies. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.